Yeenoghu is special because he embodies killing. He has few ambitions beyond the visceral thrill of rendering the soft flesh of his enemies and drinking deep the hot blood from their bodies. He craves nothing more than the utter defeat of all those who stand against him, and is relentless in his pursuit of feeding the emptiness of his existence with the frantic screams of those he slays. Butchery is a provender of Yeenoghu, and his single-minded pursuit of annihilation makes him a dangerous force in the infinite layers of the abyss. The Demonomicon of Iggwilv.
This video is sponsored by Roll for Combat and their book Battle Zoo Bestiary for D&D 5e and Pathfinder. 114 new monsters for your game, along with rules on monster materials to be turned into magic items. Create armor, shields, and more. Finally, you have a reason to use that Tarrasque hide you've been carrying around. A new subclass called Monster Mage, where you can steal special abilities from monsters you fight and use them in combat. I've always wanted to play a blue mage for D&D. With 3 books in this Kickstarter, the Bestiary is just the beginning. A dragon ancestry book and an adventure for levels 1 to 10. If you are curious, they have a sample of the book out on the web, which I'll link down below, so be sure to check it out. Head over to kickstarter.rollforcombat.com for the Battle Zoo Bestiary and more. Thanks again, Roll for Combat, and now on with the episode. Hello everybody, Jordan here, the PH is silent. A special thanks to my friend LB HackEmUp for the lovely Iggwilv voiceover. In this video, we're going to talk about the Demon Lord Yeenoghu. Demon Lords are the baddest of the bad in the Abyss, which is a plane of existence within the worlds of Dungeons & Dragons. It's full of chaotic evil demons, and if you worm your way to the top, you become a demon prince or lord, and you get to rule over one or more layers of the Abyss. Yeenoghu looks like a large and monstrous gnoll, which is a hyena type of humanoid, although incorrectly classified in 5th edition D&D. Apparently, gnolls were supposed to be labeled as fiends instead of humanoids. Their fiendish background rings true for gnolls within the Forgotten Realms, but other settings like Critical Role and Eberron, gnolls can choose a different path. In those settings, their humanoid classification would be more accurate. Yeenoghu is a 12 to 14 foot high creature, demon lord, with a grinning hyena face and burning bloodthirsty eyes. Gnolls don't typically craft weapons and armor, but they do take them from their enemies. Armor gathered this way usually doesn't fit gnoll body types. Armor is just not made for gnolls. Yeenoghu's armor reflects this. He has various shields and breastplates held together with chains that protect his body. He wields a 3-headed flail that could be an artifact in your game. All of the demon lords are chaotic, but Yeenoghu, I feel, is less calculated and really exemplifies raw murderous force, just raw chaos. He wants to kill, not to destroy everything, not to dominate life. Although he'd take those things along with the killing, Yeenoghu simply wants to kill for the sake of killing. Known as the Beast of Butchery, he despises civilization and hopes to destroy cities and their humanoid-built structures. Cities, buildings, roads, they're all trying to create order from chaos and protection from monsters like himself. This hatred of civilization includes cities that are in the Abyss. He envisions a world of endless combat and brutality, with gnolls in command hunting lesser creatures forever. Yeenoghu is not in the same league as other demon lords. Orcus, Demogorgon, and Grazit are all stronger or have greater influences within the Abyss. However, somehow Yeenoghu created a very strong presence on the material plane that other demon lords find curious. Now, I like to think that it's the bloodthirsty nature of humanity that Yeenoghu can gain influence over a creature here. Through dreams, visions, and signs, people are guided to violence, and that act of violence empowers Yeenoghu. His demands are simple. Kill. Follow his commands, and you shall know blessings beyond your dreams. Once ensnared with Yeenoghu, his new followers would allow him entry into the material plane, where he would then go on a rampage, destroying pretty much anything, but a big focus on destroying civilizations. Now, hyenas would follow him and consume the corpses of those killed by Yeenoghu. Those who ate the victims would change into fiends, and this is where that lore gets a little tricky, because gnolls are humanoid, but within this established canon, gnolls should be fiends as they are spawned from these hyenas who partook of corpse. Other fiendish type creatures that come from eating these corpses are the Lucrata. Now, Lucratas are other type of demons. They're technically monstrosities, and they've been created the same way. They're just generally evil things. Now, in 5th edition, they kind of look like the pugs of demonkind, and I think that's hilarious, and I've never used them, but, you know. Yeenoghu's weapon of choice, which he can summon to his hand, is a magical 3-headed flail known as the Butcher. Crafted from the thigh bone and flesh of an ancient god Yeenoghu killed. It deals damage, it bleeds black ichor, and it causes confusion and paralysis to those hit. Yeenoghu's realm is in the Abyss, and it has no official name, probably because Yeenoghu doesn't care. Others call it the Seeping Woods or Death Dells. Most just refer to it as Yeenoghu's realm. There are no structures on this lair, some ravines, barren hills, sickly forests, and parasite-filled waters. These are open hunting grounds. If you find yourself on this lair of the Abyss, I would assume you're being hunted by something. Now, the predators, of which there are many, are wasteful and kill far more than they need, leaving many half-eaten creatures rotting. Closer to Yeenoghu's lair, there are large iron spikes that seemingly grow out of the ground, and if you fight him here on this plane, he has the power to create those spikes underneath you. The longer an intelligent creature remains here, the more likely they will gain gnoll-like rage and bloodlust. In Dragon Magazine 364, Yeenoghu is described as having a mobile fortress with hundreds of stone wheels pulled by his minions. On top of it is a throne made from dismembered limbs of those who have angered Yeenoghu. Yeenoghu made his first appearance in 1977 with the AD&D Monster Manual, where he is the ruler of gnolls and ghouls. Yeenoghu would have you think he created the gnolls by magic, when hyenas feasted upon his victims. While they can and are created through this process, there were gnolls before Yeenoghu. He merely took control of them. There is no origin of gnolls story that I could find, but gnolls did used to worship a lesser deity named Gorelick. Now, Gorelick taught the gnolls how to use hyenas for hunting. Yeenoghu, an interloper demon lord, offered power and magic such as command undead. He never battled or killed Gorelick that I could see, but somehow supplanted him as the most worshipped by gnolls. Soon gnolls forgot about Gorelick and embraced the powers Yeenoghu bestowed upon them. As Yeenoghu gained power in the Abyss, he assaulted Orcus's realm, or rather the realm of his exarch named Dorasane. Dorasane was known as the king of ghouls. An elf, he worshipped Orcus and ascended as a servitor of him in the Abyss. When Yeenoghu invaded, Orcus did not interfere, and Dorasane saw his fate. Rather than be destroyed, he bowed down and worshipped Yeenoghu, which made Yeenoghu Lord of Ghouls. Worshippers of Yeenoghu are mostly gnolls, but other races have found their way to Yeenoghu, and he does not turn them away. Typically, gnolls won't learn magic, but humanoid priests gain necromancy from worshipping Yeenoghu. Their cults are a chaotic mess. It's amazing they get anything accomplished, but chaos is their business. I'd like to think Yeenoghu and Malar would ally together, but they would probably just constantly battle one another. But thinking about it, though, that could be an interesting storyline. Gnolls, ghouls, and werewolves coming together to destroy the Sword Coast as two pillars of murder join forces. In Eberron, gnolls tend to worship the Dark Six, which Yeenoghu is not associated with. In fact, Yeenoghu isn't part of Eberron, but if he was, he would most likely be a demon lord in the world below, some section of Khyber. Gnolls in Eberron make their home in the Demon Wastes and the Shadow Marches, where Khyber's influence is greater and civilization is small. There are gnolls that reject the Dark Six and the worship of demons. These gnolls tend to not worship any deity. They see no real difference between demons and gods, and no reason to be pawns in their game. Other than Out of the Abyss, I'm not sure when Yeenoghu came to the Forgotten Realms. For a demon lord that visits the Prime Material Plane often, it doesn't seem to be in the history books. He is in a handful of older adventures, and he also makes an appearance in Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and thank you, Roll for Combat, for sponsoring this video. Check out their website by clicking on the link in the description below. I will also link some videos on gnolls and other demon lords if you are interested. I'm curious, have gnolls made an appearance in your game? Are they bloodthirsty worshippers of Yeenoghu, or could they be something more? I mean, battling Yeenoghu on his home plane would be very, very interesting, and I might have to work that into my future games. Thanks again for watching, everyone. Many thanks to my patrons, and I will see you all in the next video. And unscripted Jordan here, I just wanted to say on a personal note, this is my 200th lore video. Not my 200th video on YouTube, but this series of Forgotten Realms and Eberron and monster lore and stuff. This is episode 200, which I just thought was really cool. And I'm also about 250 subscribers away from 100K, and it really blows my mind. And I know a lot of YouTubers say that, where they're like, I can't believe this, but I really can't. And I just kind of wanted to say thank you for watching, for subscribing, for supporting me on Patreon, for all of those little things that just kept the channel going all those years. I really appreciate it, and I'm very excited for where D&D is going to go, and where the channel is going to go, and just all the fun things I get to explore and talk about with you guys. So thank you again, and take care.